for joining Tech Sales Ascension, which has helped me so much in this journey. I can't speak on how amazing the community is, how amazing the live calls are. You guys have been so helpful. Take advantage of everything that they give you in the course, because I guarantee you something will come out of it, because I'm a living testimony. Something will come out of it.
Hey everyone, really excited to speak with Brianna this week. Someone we've been working with for a while, recently finished Tech Sales Ascension, now in an SDR job at a cybersecurity company. Brianna, a lot has changed over the last 6 to 12 months for you. You've taken a ton of action. So maybe kick it off for us, help everyone understand where you were at when you discovered tech sales, and we'll take it from there.
For sure. And thank you for having me, Eric. So at that time, when I joined back in March, I was still in college. I was in my last semester, an accounting major, you guys. And so it's interesting because I knew I wanted to get into a company where I could basically like kind of own my own business, just that entrepreneurial feel. And so last year when I learned about, on a podcast, I learned about the tech sales space. So Anthony O'Neill, he hosted someone on there who talked highly about the tech sales space. And that's just where I started my research. And so at first I got into Course Careers at the beginning of this year. And it was great, but eventually I just felt that I needed more. And so eventually on YouTube, I stumbled upon Tech Sales Ascension. And I was like, okay, I need to get into this. And once I got in, I was like, okay, you guys gave me everything that I needed to succeed, right? And to eventually land that job. And so, yeah, it was great.
Yeah, no, and credit to you for taking so much action. I know, right away when you joined the course, you were on all of our live calls, you were taking it all in. Next thing you know, you're interviewing with Salesforce, with MongoDB, with Rubrik, with some really great companies. So maybe, no one answer here. I know you did a lot of things, reaching out to reps, interviewing and applying very strategically. Maybe talk us through your evolution there and maybe provide some nuggets for anyone watching trying to do the same.
For sure. One thing that I highly suggest, so I started off just networking, reaching out as you guys suggested in the course. I reached out to people, I used the messaging templates, and I would get conversations. And from those conversations, I would get referrals to apply. And so from those referrals, I would eventually get the interview, right? And of course, you guys give great tips, interviewing tips, even examples as to how to respond to main interview questions that they do ask. So that really helps me prepare. I will say, do not put your eggs into one basket, which is what I did. I did that twice. And so I realized, okay, it's important to reach out to a lot of different people from several companies. Like, create a list. You don't even have to apply to like 200 jobs, 300 jobs, because I believe in strategic applying. And so I basically niched down and said, okay, I'm going to look at these type of industries. These are the type of companies I want to work for because of this, whatever criteria that aligns with you. Whether it's, learning and development, diversity and inclusion, whether it's based on pay, like just have that written down and take it into consideration, right? And then have the people that you're going to reach out to, have those names written down. Okay, I'm going to reach out to this person, and have the messaging prepared there whenever you're ready. One day you can dedicate a couple hours to just sending out messages to those people. And then hopefully, when you get to speak to someone, if they respond to your connection request, get a referral and then eventually an interview, right? But yeah, it's important to do research on the person you're going to talk to or interview with. But yeah, I feel like I'm rambling.
No, good. No, I think this is all great. And it's in the execution. And again, like, credit to you for getting after it right away. It's like you were going after anyone and everyone. One thing I'd love to tap into too, I know you have like an awesome varied experience. However, not technically tech sales. You have an accounting degree. I believe you had some retail sales experience. Like, you've lived around the world. You're trilingual, I believe.
Yes, I speak 3 languages.
Yeah, and how did you begin to feel like, or I guess take me through, maybe like, you have all this disparate experience that's amazing, like more than many people. How do you package that into tech sales? Did you feel confident at first, or did that build over time? I'm just curious, that evolution personally when applying.
Eric, that built over time because I had to figure out how I was going to use my customer service experience at Home Depot, how I was going to use my sales experience at Dillard's, and how I was going to use, that accounting background and also working at the bank in the fraud department, right? How I was going to use that experience to really just shape why I want to be in tech sales and how I could provide value to the company or, how I could help sell their solution. And so you guys do such a great job as to how we can pick up just specific achievements from those jobs that highlight, how just highlight how we would be successful in this job or why I'm trying to figure out the words here, but why would be a great fit? That's what it is. Why we would be a great fit for this specific position. So it was challenging at first, but over time, it becomes strength. You're picking up strengths from those specific jobs, right? But yeah.
Yeah. And I know now it's unique, oftentimes when we do these conversations, it's right as the person gets the offer. You've actually been in the role for a little bit now as well, kind of getting some reps under your belt. Are you actually on the phones already or still going through training? Where are you at?
So this coming week will be week 5. So I just got my territory, right? I'll be mid-market covering Central. And I love the fact that it's warm leads. So basically we have our marketing team that give us our leads. And we would filter out those leads and then we'll reach out to those customers, right? And we do a lot of email sequencing with outreach, right? So that's another unique part of my job. I love how it's not like cold calling every single day. And I'm not knocking cold calling. If you love it, I love that for you. But I'm very grateful that these are people that are interested in our solution because we have over 500,000 customers worldwide, right? And we had our strategy was to target mid to small businesses, right? Because our competitors would just target enterprise. And so that's how we were able to get so many companies under our belt. But for sure, it's more so warm leads. And then from there, I would transition into a closing role.
Nice. And I guess as you're onboarding, I know if you just got your territory, maybe you're getting into it, but any advice for someone that's just breaking in or trying to in terms of, you look back on your last 5 weeks, what has, set you apart or do you feel like you're still getting your bearings? I'm curious what that experience has been like.
I say, you guys ask questions. No question is stupid. Like, don't feel like, I don't know what to do. Ask questions. They love the curiosity. They love that you want to learn the job, right? And also just take great notes. If there's any trainings, attend those trainings. Ask this top sales reps what they're doing and how you can come in and replicate that. Please do that. If you can attend any of their calls that they're doing, do that as well. Shadow them, right? Take great notes. Listen to them as well. And when I say listen to them and do as they say, because why reinvent the wheel, right? If it's already working, then do that and you will succeed.
Yeah, totally. And I always a great start. And then over time too, it's, as you kind of learn what's working, you can then inject, your own personality to it and also
Right.
A/B test and continue to even get sharper and sharper over time. So really well said. I think, yeah, head's totally in the right space. One thing I want to tap into as well, on the interview side, like I mentioned, you interviewed with a bunch of different companies. What ultimately made you decide to choose the company you're at? Because I know at the end, I believe you walked away from a couple interview opportunities because it sounds like you found the best fit for you. So what was that experience like?
I would say what made me choose Sophos, they're the cybersecurity company I'm with, is the people. So of course, when you reach out and you hear about their experiences, you reach out to people in the company to hear about their experience. I would really make sure you come in with great questions so you can just really hear like if this is somewhere where you would work. Because you just don't want to go somewhere where at the end of the day, you'll end up wanting to put your 2 weeks in, a couple months in, right? You want to make sure this is somewhere you'd want to work. And hearing their experiences, pay attention to their experience, right? And also look at, are people in the company, Are people promoted within? That's also a huge thing. And at this company, almost everyone was promoted from within. And there's such a high, like almost everyone's also like meeting or exceeding their quota. It's a very chill environment. You want to pay attention to those things, because if it's an environment, because I've had conversations with people that were straight up and they were like, it's stressful, right? Like you have to be prepared to, you know, just have this high energy, and like, yeah, if not, you can get fired and all this, and you don't want to be at a place like that, right? I guess it just depends on everyone's personality and their experience and whatnot, but make sure you understand, or at least have a high level overview of what you're walking into, because that's how it was for me. For every company I interviewed with, I had an understanding of how the company was going to be based on those conversations that I had, right? So I think that answered your question.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think you did your diligence, and I think some of it is like, obviously you can prepare and study a lot to have a very good idea going into it. But again, credit to you for going out of your way not to just take what was handed to you in the interview process. You reached out to other reps. You reached out to folks to get as an authentic of a take as you could, not just reading reviews online and things of that nature. So credit to you going out of your way there. And I know, yeah, go ahead. No, go for it.
One thing that helped me, you guys, reach out to the people you're interviewing with. Please reach out beforehand, connect with them, right? Like, hey, I'm excited to interview with you. Like, you know, I'm excited to interview with you this day, whatever. I love to connect, something along those lines. It shows initiative. It shows that you're excited for the opportunity. My hiring manager, he said that stood out to him, right? And that's how like he hired me on the spot at the end of the interview, right? But yeah, that's another tidbit. Yeah.
No, absolutely. I think it's great to see too, and it's funny how I don't want to speak for you, but I see working with a lot of folks it's varying degrees, but like in your case, you just went after and got after it right away, and like you were already pretty comfortable with that, and then you see after doing that just time after time, it's not even it's like only as big of a deal as you make it, and it's like you're going out of your way. You're reaching out to everyone and like have no fear in that regard. Obviously not being reckless, but like really getting after it, and credit to you. I think that's what separates so many people from just the people who don't want to take the action. But I guess in closing too, I know we've kind of jumped around, and I love the experience. I think it's been great to see what you've accomplished in such a short time frame. But any other, broader advice to someone maybe looking at the career, looking to break in, and or with a background like yours from a different degree altogether, looking into tech? I know I'm making this question way too long-winded, but maybe the shortest way to say it is like any advice for anyone that's looking into tech sales.
For sure. I would say, guys, do not give up. Be persistent. You have to, and that's just one of the traits. You have to just be persistent and know that you will get a job, right? Just have that mindset. And, if you're joining Tech Sales Ascension, which has helped me so much in this journey, I can't speak on how amazing the community is, how amazing the live calls are. You guys have been so helpful. Take advantage of everything that they give you in the course, because I guarantee you something will come out of it, because I'm a living testimony. Something will come out of it, right? So don't give up. Don't put your eggs into one basket. Keep going. Like, be strategic, okay? Don't be all over the place. Be strategic. Have that goal in mind and go for it. And I'm telling you, if you're focused enough, you will reach that goal.
Yeah, well said. As simple as that. And it really is that, it's as simple or as difficult as you want to make it. And I think take that advice and run with it. You got to put yourself in the situation. And I think you did that incredibly well. But Brianna, always appreciate the insight. Congrats again. And for everyone watching too, I'm going to have Brianna's LinkedIn in the description. So feel free to reach out. And Brianna, anything else before we sign off here?
Feel free to connect with me. I'd love to meet anyone and have a conversation. But yeah, thank you, Eric, for having me. This was awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome.